Chapter 8 Angels and Archons. An angel is a winged divine creation, powerful in nature and nearly impossible to kill. An archon is a winged, armored divine conversion. One is created, the other is turned from mortal to divine servant of a good deity. The three good gods, guardian, Sabin, and deity, utilize both angels and archons. Each god has their own heavenly realm. There is, however, a fourth divine realm, neutral among the three gods. This realm is called Celestia. Celestia has never been attacked before. There has always been peace and tranquility here. Even arguments are rare. Angels and archons store their weapons inside of a vaulted armory. The defenses that Celestia has are perceived as perfect. Magical barriers, thought to be impenetrable, are forged with divine powers cast by all three gods. If ever there truly were a safe place within all of the multiverse, it would be in Celestia. That safety proved to be an illusion. Thousands of portals opened all across Celestia. They instantly caught the attention of every angel and archon. The undead hordes gushed out like a pipe bursting. Within seconds, millions of ghouls and zombies infested this holy plain. Even without their weapons, the holy warriors stood their ground. They fought the savage undead with everything they had. Undead continued to bolster their own forces in an unrelenting wave after wave of chaos. The angelic forces took out over 1 million dead things before the first angel fell. These divine beings were finite in number. The undead were infinite. While the undead invasion had their full attention, a singular portal opened before a great door that resembled an exquisite vault made of solid metal. Out stepped Jerious, the astral projection of Jason, and a singular Zincarla Klemo. The portal closed behind them. The lock on this armory can only be opened with a complex algorithm. Jason, this is where you come in, Jerious said. The astral projection of Jason stepped forward, placing its astral hand onto the door of the vault. This will take some time. Jerious turned around, looking to see if they had been discovered yet. No angelic servant was in sight. He turned to the Zincarla. Find one. Bring it back here to me. With a face dry and cracked from rigor mortis, the head nodded the acceptance of the order, and Klemo vanished. Jerious turned back to observe Jason studying the lock mechanism. The astral projection had one hand on the door, and its other hand pressed on its forehead in concentration of his task. Jerious looked around again, wary of some angel discovering their hidden intrusion. The distraction is enough. True, the distraction is enough, Jason said, opening his astral eyes, turning to look at Jerious without removing his hands. How long before they run to this armory, though? I mean, I would think they would come here immediately. My estimation is very soon. You have less than 45 seconds, I imagine, Jerious said. The Zincarla Klemo reappeared with the body of an angel that was bruised, bloody, either dead or unconscious at his feet. He stared at Jerious, awaiting the next command. The old wizard glanced at the body at his feet. Take him back to Titanus. Keep the portal open so we can follow. The moment we return, you will close the portal and then prevent any of those winged freaks from following us. The Klemo was silent and waited for any additional commands. Go now. Klemo opened a portal just behind himself, picked up the angel, and walked in, disappearing, leaving the portal open just as instructed. The old man looked behind the portal, seeing the approaching expected angelic forces. Turning back to Jason, he said, 15 seconds. Jerious narrowed his eyes, ready to attack. They will arrive 3 seconds before I unlock this door, Jason retorted. Yup, Jerious sardonically chided. The war cries were announced. no doubt echoing to these two that they were coming for them. Facing them, Jerious clenched his elderly fists, staring at them with his gray, wrinkled eyes, preparing for a rough fight. The first angel arrived with his fists raised high, ready to swing down at the intruders. With a burst through the first angel's back, he ripped through, using his reacquired godly strength. The fray had begun. Every angel and archon was unarmed, otherwise they might have stood a chance. As predicted, 3 seconds later, the hopeful, expected 3 clicks occurred around the massive celestial vault. The astral projection walked in while Jerious blocked the entrance, ripping apart all who dared to stop him. Endless rows of the holiest weapons stretched out inside of this magically lit vault. Every form of weapon and armor were visible. All of it glowed with a power that could only be described as both magical and divine. Jason walked past all of it, searching for his goal. It was not that hard to spot. Directly in the middle, almost like a trophy within a glass case, floated the legendary Godslayer sword, the Sword of Grutz, Cretan's first and greatest weapon. Jason reached for it, attempting to phase through the glass, only to have his hand vaporized in the attempt. The astral projection smiled. So, you angels are smarter than Jerious believed. Additional protections are not surprising at all, I suppose. However, these pathetic security measures can only stop a novice. As Jerious continued to pummel the divine forces that were attacking, a vein on his forehead pulsated. Behind his forehead, within his brain, was a cerebral muscle. The cerebral muscle activated by the will of Jason. The powers transferred to the astral projection. The glass case holding the sword split open, shocking the surrounding area from the defense mechanisms set up around it. The case broke apart, splintering the wood and smashing across the room in 2 separate directions, leaving the sword floating in place. Jason kinetically took hold of the sword. He walked it back to Jerious, who briefly looked behind as he battled the winged warriors. A smile cracked on his old face, acknowledging his success. An angel seized the opportunity, smashing his foe's face, hurling Jerious into the vault. His body rolled, stopping at the astral projection of Jason. I wonder if you allowed him to hit you, or if you were distracted by your oncoming victory today. Does it matter? Jerious said, clutching the sword. No sparks or grandiose effects occurred. The sword merely slipped into his hand, feeling weightless due to the strength of Ammon coursing through his veins. Jerious stood up, raising his sword with both hands. Insidious, victorious laughter exited his mouth. Sinkaras! He called out. Archons and angels flooded into the room, swarming towards the intruders. They never reached them. Instead, portals opened up all throughout the armory, spewing out the undead forces, attacking the Celestials on sight. As powerful as these divine forces were, even without their weapons, their fight against the never-ending relentless death charging in would push them to their limits. Former god Cretan, now back to a fraction of himself again, didn't swing his mighty weapon at them even once. Leave these paltry servants of false gods to my petty endless army. They are not worth my time or effort any longer. Jerious turned around, slashing the air in a vertical motion, leaving a tear in space, forming a portal to his desired destination. He turned to the newly arrived Klemos and Carlos. Distract them as long as it takes. After we leave, don't bother letting them destroy you. Follow me after our escape. Jerious and the astral projection walked in the portal. Laguna. Helplessly tied to a chair, Klemos' body vibrated, attempting to teleport away. Blood trickled down his nose from the failed attempt. Red turned to him, grinning. 4 of his 6 arms were holding the barmaid Sherry. Now you know I won't let you teleport away so easily. Red shook his head, disappointed. Yes, even an emergency teleport won't work under the hold I have over you. You are lucky for that, because it won't work. You are only having a mild nosebleed. Klemo continued to vibrate his body, trying to emerge as a teleport a second time. Red narrowed his eyes, revealing an annoyed look on his face. He sighed. His uppermost right arm pointed at Klemo and drew a small circle in the air. A sharp pain as well as a small popping sound was heard from Klemo's head. There! I have hindered your teleporting abilities. The psychic surgery it would take to fix wouldn't be hard to do, but I doubt you could find anyone who could do it. Klemo's eyes trickled blood. Why would you do this to me? Red shook his head, vanishing from behind the bar and reappearing in front of Klemo. He bent down to eye level. Seriously? You're actually asking me that question? Klemo stared into Red's eyes, refusing to look away or be intimidated. I no longer give a shit about your motives. I don't care what it will take. I will kill you. Red lowered his head, shaking it. Relax, your powers will heal sooner than you think. You won't live long enough to see it, though. Meh. I was hoping for a stimulating conversation from you, but that seems highly unlikely now. He traced a line in the air just in front of Klemo's mouth. Junior attempted to say more, but couldn't move his lips. Absorbing so many Klemos, you honestly should not be surprised that at least one of them could manipulate the muscles of others. You won't talk or teleport unless I will it. Sherry seized the opportunity and bolted for the door. Red pointed at her. Her legs disappeared in mid-escape, causing her to fall to the floor helpless. As she crawled, Red slowly walked over to her. See, now, I didn't have to teleport your legs away. Then again, you didn't have to try to escape. Tears streamed down her face as fear and pain enveloped her. The pain from her removed legs alone was too agonizing to bear. It was only overcome by the fear she had for Red. That fear gave her enough willpower to continue to crawl. Red placed a foot on top of her back, stopping her escape. You are being rude again. Red pushed pressure on her back, squeezing the air from her lungs. I know I seem cruel, don't I? Red said with a soft voice. The woman attempted to turn her head. Her face was covered in her own blood and tears. Please, just let me go. What? Why would I do that? I love you after all. Red frowned with a hint of surprise on his voice. Well, not you per se. It was a different you from a different universe, but you all the same. Please, just let me go, she pleaded out of desperation. Red lifted her body up, his face twisted to a scowl of anger. You always do this, he shouted, waving his hand and exploding her body. Blood splashed throughout the bar. He turned back to Klemo. Well, I think it was her anyways. I fucked her once at least, and that is close enough to love, don't you think? Red paused, waiting for his younger alternate to answer. Oh, that's right, sorry. He waved his hand, ending the muscle control over Klemo's mouth. How could you possibly be the same person? I could never be like you, Klemo shouted. Picking up a towel to wipe the blood from himself, Red chuckled. Sure you could. Genetically, we are identical. He walked towards his prisoner. Our experience is probably the only differences. Me, he stepped in front of the tied-up Klemo, snapped his fingers, causing the nearby chair to slide to him. The six-armed Klemo sat down. Say, would you like to hear my story? Klemo spit in Red's direction. The spittle stopped midair. Why do the other Klemos always do that when I am trying to make a connection? Red shrugged his shoulders. Anyways, my story. It all began a little over 200 years ago. Some prince from Herod took me from Laguna back with him to his podunk kingdom. I had no choice but to follow. My God, I was so naive back then. Just followed whatever orders I was given. He stomped his foot. Prince Ivan, Igor, Izzy, oh, what was his name? Ian. Klemo choked out the name. Red snapped his fingers. Ah, yes, Ian Kane. Say, you have a better memory than I. Here, I was thinking you had little nothing to offer me, and yet that sort of memory that persists even after 200 plus years will serve me greatly. I'm not nearly as old as you, Klemo spat. What? Oh, who cares about your story? I'm telling mine. So Prince Ian Douche made me go back to Herod, where some crazed necromancer attacked. The attack really didn't matter. It was stopped really quick. Why the fuck are you even telling me this? Klemos screamed. Red put his finger to his lips. Shh. Waving his hand, he once again removed his ability to speak. That's better. Alright, so during this weird zombie fight, I met my very first alternate version of myself. He just teleported into the room I was in. Said he was looking for me. As you can imagine, I was quite shocked to discover other me's existed. We talked for hours. Then, for some reason, I could not then understand, he actually attacked me. I miraculously won that fight. I was covered in blood that was mine, yet not mine at the same time. Crazy as all that was, the even crazier part was how I instinctively knew what to do next. He stood up from the chair, kicking it to the floor. This first Klemo that I absorbed was exactly like me. Absorbing him was nowhere near as easy as it is now. I had to actually physically dig through his brain with my bare, unaltered hands. Sticking my fingers into his head felt so strange, yet so right at the same time. The information I gathered was jumbled and difficult to decipher, yet I did manage to acquire a small fragment of his capabilities. I learned how to universe hop. He was capable of doing more, but it was fine letting the rest of information turn to trash. None of the rest could be recovered from just that one ability. Red raised his 6 arms. It took me a very long time to learn how to fully drain all of the knowledge from my brothers and sisters. I have encountered millions of different Klemos during my time. Thus far, the one who wanted to kill me, to absorb me, he was the only other parasite Klemo I have ever met. The rest are really so nice and get along with each other so well. Red pointed at Junior. I want that, you see. The camaraderie you have. I want it as well. You have your friends, and all of you get along so well. Klemo made a muffling sound, attempting to talk. Red waved his hand, returning his speech to him once again. That doesn't make any sense at all, Klemo said. Red tilted his head. Which part? The killing of other Klemos, or the need for camaraderie? If you want friends, why kill us? You could have friended the entire city of Klemo without killing anyone. We could have taught you anything. Oh, you completely misunderstand. But that's okay. You other Klemos always misunderstand. You see, I want both. While I could just learn like you suggest, I find that to be trite and boring. I have, however, as you may have already guessed, discovered how to have your memories, powers, skills, talents, capabilities, and something better than your friendship. Klemo's eyes opened wide with the realization. You don't just kill and absorb other Klemos, Klemo was interrupted by Red. Yes, that's right. I take your bodies and I convert them to become another me. It really isn't that difficult when you think about it. I absorb everything that is you, add it to me, then I take what is left of you and copy myself into it. You know what the best part is? Red asked. Klemo was silent, letting the thought sink in. Red welcomed the silence from his alternate. Smiling, he continued. You see, other Reds aren't just a copy, clone, or duplicate. We are a perfect match. Thanks to Dagon, I was able to take over most of the city of Klemo. Sure, Dagon got some Klemos, but I got way more. It still makes no sense that you keep me alive. Why haven't you done this to me? Klemo asked. 2 reasons. 1, I'm using you as bait to lure the other 3 Klemo companions of yours, which you already know. And 2, I like to play with my food. Red laughed. The city ruins of Overby. This is very bad, Magic said, staring into a scrying pool he conjured. The pool revealed Red and Junior along with the conversation they just had. How can we possibly save him? Gray asked, with her arms fully restored. She felt it with her other arm, making sure it was intact and functioning properly. If the entire city of Klemos swarmed with Red Klemos, why is he alone? Why aren't other Reds with him? Twinkle asked. I was wondering the same question. Friend, my guess is they are trapped in our city because of Dagon, Magic said. Twinkle paced back and forth. That doesn't make any sense, though. We saw Theresa get in the city, and Red is far more powerful than her. Surely he can do what she can do. Magic snapped his fingers. Unless Dagon, from the breach Theresa created, and made that method of entry and escape impossible. That makes perfect sense. Well, as comforting as it is knowing we can only have one of those monsters to deal with, we still can't beat him, Twinkle said. Magic lowered his head. He is faster than Twinkle, stronger than Strong, as smart or smarter than Jason, more powerful than that Jerious we always hear about, and worst of all, knows us as we all know ourselves. We do outnumber him, Gray pointed out. He has as many arms as us, Twinkle said. Gray outstretched her arms. We fucking took on Orcus just a few weeks ago. Magic shook his head. Sure, but this is different. He's more powerful than Orcus. Plus, we hindered a lot of Orcus's powers while fighting him. We also had Darren Overby and another Klemo helping us. That Klemo, by the way, is tied to a chair, helpless as we speak. The other two Klemos looked at Magic. They didn't respond to his comment on the obvious. So since we have that singular advantage, which is outnumbering him, we must utilize it to save our comrade, Magic said. Fine. How? Gray asked. Teleport in, surprise him, fight him head on, Twinkle suggested. If we can sense him coming and defend ourselves, he can do the same. No doubt he is expecting exactly that, Magic said. Gray drew her weapons. Then come up with a better plan, or we're going to do exactly that. Dagon, Red, Jerious, Loth, or Pale Knight. What difference does it make for us? What kills us? We're going to die no matter what. Might as well be in an attempt to save our friend. I know how we can get him, Magic said. How? Gray and Twinkle both responded. We do what Klemos would not. We sneak in, Magic said. A little more my style, at least. How close can we teleport without him detecting it? Twinkle said. Magic conjured a blue spectral image of a laguna. A green circle extended out of the city for half a mile. Pointing at the green area, Magic spoke. This is where his psychic senses touch. I can cast a spell to hide us from that. What are the ill effects of the spell? Gray asked. We won't be able to teleport. At least not while it is in effect, Magic said. Twinkle laughed, covering his face with one hand and raising a finger with his other. Red is more powerful than us, can do far more than us. We need all the help we can get, and you suggest we hinder ourselves just to get a sneak attack? Yes, Magic said. Twinkle continued to laugh, but slowed it down before speaking. Well, it's been a long time since I walked half a mile. Meh, it's been a good life. I cannot think of a better way to die. Gray chuckled. Think of it like this. If we win, then we win. But if we lose, then at least we don't die. We will just convert to another Red. End of Chapter 8.